We want to get right out to Governor Roy Cooper, who's given us an update. Let's go ahead and listen in.
Administrator.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon, everybody. First, I just wanted to start by saying on behalf of the Biden-Harris administration, our deepest sympathies go out to those who have lost loved ones, those who have incurred damages as a result of this storm. And at the President's direction, we are going to be here as long as it takes to finish this response and continue through the recovery. As you heard this from the governor, this is a historic storm with catastrophic impacts across many communities. But I want the people of North Carolina to know that we have the resources here in North Carolina to help with this response, to begin the recovery. We will continue to send additional resources in. So far, we have over 1,200 personnel from across the federal family supporting the response efforts. That includes things like our search and rescue teams, our medical teams from Health and Human Services, the Army Corps of Engineers that are doing assessments of water systems and power infrastructure. And we have our incident management assistance teams that are embedded at the State Emergency Operations Center, as well as in the county or the local communities, so we can have seamless communication with those on the ground in the impacted areas, as well as with the state, so we can move those resources as quickly as possible. I was able to see some of the devastation today while I was with the governor, and we're already starting to think ahead about the resources that might be needed as the recovery is going to continue, or even to provide some rest and relief for the responders that have been working so hard day in and day out since this storm passed. We're going to be bringing in additional DoD medical teams to help support some of the long-term sustainable needs to run some of the medical facilities. We'll continue to bring in additional search and rescue resources as needed. We're going to continue to also bring in the Army Corps of Engineers to start planning. They've already started planning, but more resources for the debris removal, as this is going to have a significant debris removal mission. I think the biggest thing that I can say right now is, again, at the direction of the President, he has asked me to make sure that we have every federal resource available to support the people of North Carolina, and thinking about those resources in perhaps a way that we wouldn't traditionally use them. And he has directed me to stay as long as it takes to ensure that all of our federal family are here supporting North Carolina, and we're meeting the needs that the governor has identified. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator. Our North Carolina National Guard has played a significant role both in search and rescue and in the delivery of commodities. I'm going to recognize the Adjutant General of the North Carolina National Guard, Major General Todd Hunt.
Thank you, Governor. And first of all, I want to thank the National Guardsmen for their dedication and service for the state of North Carolina. I'd also like to thank the Asheville Airport for being our partner in helping to distribute commodities through our airlift, which you see behind me. Right now, the National Guard, we have over almost 800 people on duty for this specific event. Our primary responsibility and our primary focus right now is still search and rescue or recovery, and then a relocation, followed by commodities. This morning we brought in 100,000 pounds of water and commodities on a C-17. We've also done 100,000 pounds through our helicopter lifts that we have. We continue to service the area. We've hit 8 counties within the region already with commodities, and we're going to continue to push soldiers into the region to help the citizens of the Western North Carolina. Thank you, Governor.
One of the major issues we have is ingress and egress and making sure that we clear roads. We still have some communities that are cut off. Our North Carolina Department of Transportation has been working hard to clear roads and to get roads back open. I'm going to call on our Secretary of Transportation, Joey Hopkins.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, our hearts go out to everyone here in Western North Carolina. We have employees that are directly impacted by this, as well as everybody else that has friends and families. We have at this time over 300 roads closed due to damage, landslides, rock slides, fallen trees, mud on the road. Some roads are breached, some bridges are gone. Right now, I-40 in the western part of the state is probably the worst damage we have. There's about a 4-mile section where we lost eastbound 40. We are hopeful that we can open 40 on the east side of Asheville in the coming days. Right now that is open, but it's only open to people responding to the storm. It's not open to the public at this time. The damage is severe, and we're continuing to tell folks, if you don't have a reason to be in North Carolina, do not travel on the roads of western North Carolina. We do not want you here if you don't live here and you're not helping with the storm. So that'll continue to be our message pushing forward in the coming days. If you've been on the map apps, they are also sending that same message out, so we'll continue saying that. This is an all-hands-on-deck type of event. We have over 1,600 employees working now. We have over 73 contract crews helping us also, and that number is growing every day. We have crews coming from other states. Tomorrow, Florida is sending crews up here to help us, and they're also bringing some assets like temporary bridges to help us make temporary repairs. So we're doing that. And I do want to say again that many of our crews that are working, they have not been home. They do not know what their own damage is. And due to the communication issues, they have not been able to find out from their own families how they're doing. So I'm very thankful and grateful for their dedication as public servants in the state of North Carolina, and my hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to them too. In an effort to help, we've also secured a location for housing for our employees, because some of the hotels either don't have power or water, or the ones that do don't have rooms. So that'll be set up in the next day or so for about 250 people, and we're working on that. And I also want to echo what the governor and others have said. I want to thank our many partners, along with our staff, that helped to alert people. It helped to respond to storms and downed trees. That goes from the North Carolina National Guard to the State Highway Patrol, local law enforcement, first responders, and even private citizens are helping clear trees. We learned today that Mission Hospital has also helped to clear trees from roads so their employees can get to the hospital to help serve the critical care needs of our people in western North Carolina. And lastly, I want to thank our federal partners at FEMA and FHWA. You can see FEMA boots on the ground here, and we're grateful for that and grateful for their assistance. I've been in contact with our FHWA division administrator and also the acting FHWA administrator too, and I'm grateful for their help. This is one of the most catastrophic events we've ever seen in North Carolina, and I just ask for your patience as we continue to try to solve the transportation issues here in North Carolina. Thank you.
We're also concerned about our healthcare facilities, our hospitals, our nursing homes. We have with us today Secretary of Department of Health and Human Services, Cody Kinsley.
Thank you, Governor. As Governor Cooper said, we have been focused at the Department of Health and Human Services on ensuring the stability of our healthcare system here in the region. We have 22 acute care hospitals in western North Carolina. As of last night, all had their power restored back onto the grid. All of them had generator power during the storm, so we're able to continue operations and supporting
North Carolina
their
emergency
community.
management officials, along with Governor Roy Cooper, talking about the relief efforts that are underway today to help those folks in western North Carolina. And